All right, good morning, everybody. All right. So, just in case you don't already know me, my name is JinSung Sagisaka. Hi. I'm All right. I'm 18 years old, and just like 2 weeks ago, me and my sister came back from our long trip to Korea. So, in the next 7 or so minutes, I will be sharing what me and my sister did. So, prepare yourself. This is pretty epic. So, all right. First part of our training. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. Hold up. Sorry, give me a sec. Oh yeah, that's me. That's me. All right, and that's my sister. So, all right. The first part of our long training arc was the pure water assembly. And right off the bat, I was already struggling. Why? I'll tell you why. Because one, hold up. I was separated from my big sister, and she was my only form of communication because I could not speak Korean or Japanese. And then, to my absolute luck, I was placed into a team with only Koreans and Japanese. So, yeah. Thank goodness, though. Thank goodness. Some of the members could actually understand enough English to understand me. So, thank the Lord. Hallelujah. All right. So I wasn't completely hopeless. And anyway, most of the external activities I enjoyed in Korea actually came from the Pure Water Assembly. And we went to so many places, including Cheongpyeong, the first headquarters church in our movement. And that was just amazing to be inside. It was like, I felt like walking around. I was like, true father walked here? It was really cool. And also, we went to Cheongpyeong Resort, which was on the news actually just now. And that was really nice. I couldn't take any pictures of the inside of the water park because I didn't want my phone to get wet. But I did went on all 3 of their slides, so yeah. So anyways, that was really fun. And finally, last but not least, went to Cheongpyeong Chunil Sanctum, and I couldn't take any pictures there either because photography was prohibited, so but I did find these pictures online, so yeah. And let me tell you right now, it's way better when you see it in person, so yeah. Especially when you're in the middle of that room over there, the actual like sanctum in the middle, like there's a light that shines upon you and you're just like, oh, it's so good. It feels so nice. So good, it's so nice. Anyways, I also made a ton of friends from all around the world, Japan, Korea, the UK, and some of them even came from the US. So to summarize my experience in the Pure Water, not that yet, all right. To summarize my experience in the Pure Water Assembly it was a really enjoyable time where I could connect with brothers and sisters in our faith from around the globe and to visit historical places in the province too. And as a matter of fact, I feel it was the perfect foundation for the next part of our training, which was the International 40-Day Spirituality Workshop. Yeah. All right. This was a time, all right. Thank you. I'm not done yet. All right. This was a time when I could focus on my internal growth and my spirituality. And unlike the Pure Water Assembly, most of that time was spent in the lecture hall. So nonetheless, I still received so much guidance, so much grace through the lectures about the Cheongpyeong and True Parents Life course, which really helped me grow an even stronger relationship with true parents. And I feel I felt like I struggled a lot in that workshop, but that struggle helped me grow, especially. And in particular, a very special way that I grew was how I offered my devotion. And I actually gave a testimony about this during one of the intensive prayer sessions over there, talking about this development. So, all right. I wrote it shortly after True Mother was arrested, and I revised it to make it sound more accurate to what I was feeling at the time. So, don't worry, I'll explain that later. All right. After True Mother asked us all to not worry about her and instead pray for our families and for the completion of heaven's providence, I was reminded of how selfless and loving she is. And, all right, sorry. And I was reassured that everything would be okay as long as we kept moving forward in our faith. I might have been a bit too reassured since I began to grow ignorant towards True Mother's situation, and I tried deluding myself into thinking that everything is fine, everything will be fine, and as a result, my heart got really distant from True Mother the moment she needed me the most. Then one day, we took a pilgrimage to Cheongpyeong, and I didn't think too much of it at first because I already visited during the Pure Water Assembly. But after this pilgrimage, I received resolution in a very unexpected way. Yeah, all right. After hearing a story about how True Father prayed so desperately that his tears and sweat fell through the floor and formed a puddle in the floor underneath, I was very moved. And so much so that when we were driving back to the training center, I asked myself, how can I offer so much devotion for True Mother with the same heart as True Father? I tried to think about how I could do this, how I could accomplish this, but nothing really came to mind. So when we returned to the training center, a short clip from the anime Dragon Ball Super randomly appeared on my YouTube feed, and since I was so conflicted and confused at the time, I just felt that watching random videos on YouTube would help me, ease my mind, I guess. So I just clicked on the video expecting nothing, but I don't have enough time to play it, so I didn't put it in the presentation. But the clip itself was pretty good. It was pretty cool. It was just like your everyday anime, no big deal. But it was the specific words, "I'll shatter through my limits in my own way and on my own terms," that really stuck out to me. I thought about these words a lot, and I began to reflect. Ever since the workshop started, I've been content with offering 40 bows in the Cheongpyeong every day. I thought it was enough since this was my first time ever doing a workshop like this, and I doubted I would reach the level of 120 bows anytime soon. And 40 bows was what you could say my limit. Then a sermon my father gave a few years ago came to mind. I remember he proclaimed, Heavenly Parent can guide us through things like anime, TV shows, Disney movies and such. And it was at that moment that I knew this was Heavenly Parent's answer to my question through this clip of Dragon Ball Super. And I was inspired even more to help True Mother in the detention center by breaking through my own limits in my own way and offering more devotion than I thought I could do. And just like that, my ignorance towards True Mother's situation just melted away and was replaced with resolve and determination to protect her through my own devotion. And since then, I've been gradually trying to offer more bows every single day. I started increasing to 50, 60, then 70, to the point where I reached a new standard of 140 bows a day for the sake of True Mother's health and safety. I hope this testimony inspires you to break through your own limits, even if it's a small number, and even if you don't want to, because what matters is that you offer up your very best to Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Thank you. That's what I just wrote down. I'm not actually done yet. But almost, though. Almost. I promise. Almost. All right. So all I have to say, in conclusion, for everyone who needs to hear it, if you're really struggling right now, or if you truly want to grow your life of faith, I recommend you to go to the Spirituality 40 Days in Cheongpyeong, or even in the normal 40 day, and heaven and the absolute good spirit world will help you. I really believe that. And if you've been waiting for a sign, maybe this is it. So thank you very much for listening. That is the end of my testimony. All right. Now help me welcome up the next testimony speaker, JinMi, my big sister. Yay!
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, as you guys know, I am JinSung's older sister. My name is JinMi Sagisaka, and hello. And today I'd like to share. JinSung kind of gave an overview of like what we did throughout the almost 90 days we were in Korea. So I'd like to just give like an overall kind of testimony, or the testimony that was most recent to me since I came back home. So, yeah, I'll be mainly talking about this workshop, the 40-day Spiritual International Workshop. So, my intention when I went to Korea was to cleanse myself thoroughly in order to connect to Mother's heart better, and also to reflect on the 2 years of GPA that I did. So, even though this was my intention originally, I feel like quickly I forgot about it because when I arrived in Cheongpyeong, we did like pure water and it was a bunch of fun and everything. But as soon as this workshop started, it was like all serious. Like there was no playing around. You have to be like sitting in lecture hall, like practicing like prayer and everything. So as soon as this workshop started, I feel like I kind of completely forgot about my intention. And my only focus was on True Mother and how I can help True Mother. And I didn't think about myself much at all, only thinking about how I can help Mother. So without realizing it though, completely God has given me both of the goals that I wanted when I reflected, like when I came home. But similar like my brother in ways that I didn't actually expect at all, like how I would achieve my goals. So by the end of our 40 days, like this is kind of the testimony from my 40 days, but I felt like I just saw True Mother's picture, or I heard her name, and I would start crying sometimes. Simply when I just saw her picture or heard her name, because I really felt there was a feeling inside of me, like a true connection, a feeling like she is my real mother. So I felt this especially true with one particular experience. Me and other spirituality trainees, when we were notified of Mother's court case, we prayed all day inside the Cheonchimwon, and calling out name prayers, chanting prayers, hundake, bows from 10 a.m. to probably 10 p.m. and from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and 8 p.m. we prepare for prayer visual. And we desperately called out, praying that our devotion would be enough to save our True Mother and keep her safe. I think I especially felt this because being in Korea, inside the Cheonchimwon, really felt like, yeah, we can save our True Mother if we offer everything, absolutely everything. We prayed and shouted so much that the taste of blood in your mouth was actually quite normal. The next day and the next day and the next day after that. On the night of her court case especially, we prayed so earnestly, only to hear the news that our mother was taken. After, I felt like we completely failed to protect our True Mother. How could we think our devotion was enough? Even if we didn't sleep to pray and pray and pray, like how could I think my devotion was enough? It couldn't have been enough. I should have done more, were often thoughts that I had in my head. So even if this happened, we still had to prepare for prayer visual every single night and sing every single night. So the next day, singing in Cheonchimwon choir became so difficult for me because I couldn't sing with joy like I did before. But after maybe 5 days after Mother's detention, I had a beautiful God experience where one night we were singing Waymaker. And these are songs we often sing like again and again and again. If you plug into prayer visual, you sing these songs over and over and over again. But this time, when we were singing, there's a verse that I'm sure you guys all know that says, Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. In this moment, for some reason, I looked up and there was a spotlight like this, like shining right on top of me. And it might have just been a normal light to anybody else, but for some reason, this particular light felt like it was God really comforting me. Because it said like there, I am your light in the darkness. That is who I am. Is this song, like the song that we were singing. So, to me, it felt like God was saying, like, in the darkness, JinMi, look towards the light and have faith in me and please keep going. And so, from that moment, I changed my perspective. From that moment, I was really feeling kind of depressed and down, like true mothers in this situation, what am I supposed to do, what I didn't do, and all these different questions. But now I really felt that I must have faith that the devotion that we're doing now can still help our true mother. It's not like what I did or what all these other trainees did was in vain, but it was really still going towards the same goal. So from then on, I sang with more sincere heart, and what we are doing, like more sincere heart, but this time with absolute faith in our Heavenly Parent and our true parents. And in this way, Heavenly Parent guided me to my first goal of cleansing myself to recognize God's message. For anyone else, it might have been just a regular light on the ceiling. But for me, it felt like God's message to connect to True Mother even more. So that was my first goal achieved. And my second goal of also reflecting on my 2 years of GPA, I didn't think about this goal much at all going to Korea, because I feel like my only focus was on True Mother. And it kind of felt selfish in a way of thinking of myself in any way. So honestly, I didn't think about it much. But when I came back home, I realized how kind of dumb I was. But when I look back, God gave me similar experiences that gave me similar feelings to when I was on GPA, when I was on this 40-day workshop, but also we did maybe 30 more days of volunteer work as well. So actually, the workshop that me and JinSung participated in was the first international spirituality workshop. And the first of anything, I feel, is really difficult. Maybe parents know your first child is really difficult, or your first workshop's really difficult, your first camp is really difficult. Starting anything new is difficult. So this is when I want to be really honest with you, family. It was hard, but I think whenever you need to break through, there's always some type of breakdown. So this was my huge breakdown. There were multiple times where I felt uncared for, ignored, and uncertain about our schedule, and uncertain about what's going on, and particularly because me and JinSung and the other trainees couldn't really speak Korean or Japanese. So yeah, it was easy just to feel ignored and not cared. Like, oh yeah, they can't speak our language anyway, so might as well just not mention it to them. But these experiences reminded me of some of my experiences on GPA for my past 2 years of mission. Not saying that my entire year of GPA was like this, just saying particular ones that I didn't want to remind myself of. But feelings of uncertainty, distrust, hope, and then feeling of just keep on going, having absolute faith, and then denying myself. All these feelings came up again. And I remember I said to myself back then during this workshop and also on GPA that it was hard, but God was there with me the whole time, and Mother was along me too. So it's okay. But however, I said these words very lightly, and it was my way of hiding my true feelings and putting a positive and happy face for others. So I think Heavenly Parent knew that I never fully digested the challenges that I went through and just pushed them aside. But through this workshop, I realized a lot about myself again when I thought I knew myself enough. But in the 40 days, when there was a position change or a program change, we had to be like really light on our feet to change anything, change songs that we were making, change slideshows that we were making, change anything. Even if you put a lot of effort into it, someone can say, actually, no, we're not doing that anymore, and we're doing this instead. We're like, okay, just follow what they say. But there's only so much you can take of that. So, sorry. Sorry. But it was really hard to accept many changes, and through it all, I tried my best to remain positive. But this was very similar to when I had the blessing of captaining on GPA. So when times were difficult, I tried my best to remain strong and be strong and a happy foundation for my members to go back to and to get back up again. And I didn't want them to suffer more because of me. I felt like, oh, my bad, bro. Sorry, I'm going overtime. But yeah, I feel like as a older sister or even like in this parental figure, you don't want your members to feel any more suffering because you're not strong. So this was really, really strong for me, this feeling. But after Mother's detention, these feelings came up again. I have to remain strong. Mother needs a positive face, right? Mother needs me to be happy. But this is when I realized I'm not the only one that feels this way. I looked around and so many other members also felt the exact same way as I did. I didn't realize that constantly trying to be positive in a situation when others were not, I was slowly distancing myself, honestly making me more of an arrogant person. So after I realized that, I repented a lot. And when I was captaining, it was really easy to feel alone in my devotion and efforts. But in the 40-day workshop, when we prayed in Cheongpyeong surrounded by other members, shouting and crying for mother, repenting and making redeterminations, it really reminded me that in my life of faith, you can never be alone. I'm never alone because Heavenly Parents are with me, and I'm surrounded by my brothers and sisters, my family. And so I was never alone. Heavenly Parent guided me, a person who still has many imperfections. And Heavenly Parent needs me and loves me and guides me throughout this entire beautiful journey. So Heavenly Parent taught me that genuine gratitude becomes possible only when I acknowledge my challenges, embrace them, and allow the lessons I learned from them to transform me. So in the end, I was able to accomplish both goals that I had. So thank you, Heavenly Parents. Before I would like to conclude, I would like to ask a favor of you, Chicago community. Me and JinSung have experienced rebirth during this workshop, this 40-day spirituality workshop that you can see here. And we both feel called by God to go back again, but this time to return the love that we have received and go back as staff for the next spirituality workshop happening in December, which if you guys are any at all interested to go, I would be happy to share any information. But yeah, we ask if anyone feels called to or would like to support our journey. I would greatly appreciate it. But if you'd like more information about the workshop or anything else about Korea, I'd be happy to answer your questions, or you can find my parents as well. Thank you so much to Pastor Bangja, the pastoral team, everyone. I'd like to conclude my testimony.